All right, hello everyone. So this is Nathas, and I am going to be going over opening a demo kit today, and then me and Grandfather, the number 2 SolForge player currently on the bronze leaderboard, will be going through and doing a battle with our demo decks. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up a sealed demo deck, and I'm going to talk a little bit about exactly what is inside of this. Then I'm going to go through the deck building process, and then I'm going to actually build the deck, fuse it online, and then me and Grandfather are going to be playing a game on Tabletop Simulator together with these decks. So he actually, earlier this weekend for his YouTube channel, opened up demo kits himself. So this will be a battle of the demo decks tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of go over the packaging a little bit. So a demo kit is something that was sent to stores right when this game was coming out, and this was kind of the intent to be able to do demos in your store with these kits. So this is very similar to a starter kit, whether it be a Kickstarter kit, whether it be your alpha starter kits, except there are a few minor differences, specifically the packaging as well as some of the minions you get. It's kind of a little bit of a combo between your Kickstarter kit and your alpha starter kit in terms of the quality of the parts as well as the packaging itself. So the first thing you'll see, it says demo kit on the front of the box. On the back, it looks kind of typical, like similar to your typical alpha kit. You'll see here that it says KS in the barcode because the decks inside are actually Kickstarter decks, and they're from the Kickstarter set. So besides the box being a demo box, we're actually opening a Kickstarter set here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this right now. So I'm just going to break the seal of this set. Go over the contents of this box, and then we're going to open up each individual deck and kind of talk through what we've opened and kind of come together and build a fused deck out of this. So the first thing you'll see is you get a package of minions. So the minions here are very similar to the minions that you get in a Kickstarter set. That being said, this little bag of tokens in the fuse token is actually what comes in the starter kit. So this is kind of a little bit of a combo of your Kickstarter and your alpha kit, because your minions here, as far as I know, this is the only packaging that has this little plastic sleeve around your minions. So what you get here is you get one of each Kickstarter minion. So you get a Kickstarter Wisp, you get 2 regular Wisps, you get a Kickstarter Spell Sprite, 2 regular Spell Sprites, a Kickstarter Mindless Zombie, 2 regular Mindless Zombies, and finally a Kickstarter Gizmo, and then 2 regular Gizmos. So for people who haven't actually seen the Kickstarter minions before, I'm going to bring those up real quick just so you can see both sides. And I'll talk a little bit through what is on these. So if you see here, any promo minion that Stoneblade comes out with is going to have one of these little promo markings here. So on the Wisp, you'll see the front side is a promo Wisp, and if I were to flip this over, you have your promo Oakfather here. So it's just like a typical minion, except it's alternate art specifically allocated to the Kickstarter set, and as well as you can see here, your demo sets. So your Spell Sprite, your alternate art for that one, here's your Spell Swarm right here. I know locally everyone calls this the Potato Spell Swarm because it looks a little bit like a potato. So this is definitely a local favorite in my community. Here's our Mindless Zombie. And when you flip it over, here's the promo Zombie Brute. And then finally, your Gizmo, when you flip it over, you have your Mega Gizmo. So if you see, it's like a nice little alternate art item that comes with your decks. It's something that I know in my local tournaments I like to try to play with the Kickstarter minions just because I really like the art on these. They're functionally the same, just alternate art. So then you have your life tracker tokens as well as a forge token inside this bag. I'm not going to open this now, but this really can be used to track your positive and negative power and toughness, or attack and defense when your creatures are taking damage or getting buffs for their attack. I know a lot of people like to use dice, but this comes with the set just to help. You get 2 of the paper playmats. So these are just like your typical paper playmats. I'm not going to open these right now just for the sake of they're the same in every kit, whether it's Kickstarter, Alpha, or your demo kits. And finally, you get 4 decks. And once again, like I said, this is organized just like a typical Kickstarter set. So if you look at the back first, you'll get 2 Forge tokens on your decks in terms of your tokens. You'll get 1 keyword card, and you'll get 1 random Kickstarter minion. So I'm going to take these out. And these are the 4 decks that I'm getting in my kit. So I'm going to go through these, open them. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the level 3 of each cards for each deck. I'm going to scan these in to my my or my account, and then I'll bring up the actual full deck list on my account when I kind of talk a little bit about the deck building portion of this. So I'm just going to take the extra pieces here. I'm going to put them back in the box just so they can kind of get out of the way. And then we'll go into opening these decks, talking through some of the cards in them and a little bit of the synergy, and then we'll go into a little bit more of a detailed deck building process. Oh, and we actually have Grandfather in the chat right now. If you want, let me know, and I'm happy to call you into a Discord chat so we could talk through it together. Just shoot me a message, and if you'd like to start talking now, or if you'd like to jump on a call when it's time for us to do our battle. But I'm definitely happy to do that if you'd like. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the decks. I'll start with the Eloyan. I'm going to go to the Utera, then the Necrom, and then the Tempest. So I'll put these to the side. And actually, if you see here, before I open it, you can see the rarity symbols are the Kickstarter rarity colors. So your rares are going to be green, your commons are going to be, your rares are going to be purple, your commons are going to be green, and then your modifiers will also be purple and green instead of your typical yellow and blue. All right. So this deck is called the Free Sneering Matrix Corpse. So we're starting with a Camouflage Scrapper. This has stealth, and then when a creature replaces at level 3, it gets +9 attack. So this is a pretty strong card if you're looking to buff your creatures. Now we have an Energy Prison. So this gives a creature at level 3 -15 attack, and then you can upgrade a card in your hand when you play it. We've got a Force Field, which has give a creature 15 armor this turn. If you play this on a warrior, it gets 15 attack. Gauntlets of Solgrim. So you may deal 10 damage to a creature, and then you may give a creature 10 armor this turn. We've got a Palladium Pulse Mage. Activate, each enemy player destroys their lowest power creature. So at level 3, this ends up being a really strong card, where at level 1 and 2, you actually will be destroying your own creatures as well as their creatures. We've got a Salvage Sentry. So it's got 8 armor, and when this is destroyed, you may play a Mega Gizmo in this lane. We've got a Spirit Forge Sentinel. So it's got aggressive and stealth. If this replaced a creature this turn, give it +6. We've got a Venerable Assassin, so it's got a 9/7 with stealth. And then we got a War Machine, so if this replaced a creature, give it 10 attack. And then finally, we have a Warmonger mod. So you may play a Mega Gizmo minion, and then you may play a creature for free. So just looking through this deck real quick, and I'll go through a little bit more details shortly. We've got 1, 2, 3 creatures with stealth, so that could be very interesting, especially because we also have a lot of creatures with replacement effects. So if the War Machine replaced a creature, give it +10 attack. If the Spirit Forge Sentinel replaced a creature, give it +6 attack, where your Scrapper and all of your minion generation with your Gizmos and your Mega Gizmos will actually also buff these. So this could be a really interesting deck in terms of being able to sneak by your opponent. So this is definitely one that I'm going to be considering when I'm building my deck. But yeah, so this is a very interesting deck right off the bat. It has 3 warriors as well, so your Force Field could actually be really relevant in terms of giving stuff power. So this is an interesting deck. I'm going to put this off to the side, and like I said, when we go through actually deck building these, I will bring them up on the computer so everyone can see the deck lists. And then finally, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show the Forgeborn for this deck. So we have a Steel Rosetta. So it's got 3 abilities here. The level 2 is Enhance, where I could play a Gizmo minion, upgrade a level 1 card in my hand. The level 3 is repurpose, so I could choose a creature. If it's replaced this turn, you may reanimate it. And then it has a level 4 Tinker, so play up to 2 Mega Gizmo minions. So this actually could be a very interesting Forgeborn, depending on what I pair it with, because obviously the upgrade synergy is pretty strong at level 2, and then the repurpose could be really cool with that Scrapper. So basically I could replace it, reanimate it, and then get it back. So there's definitely some interesting synergy here. This is a deck that I'm definitely going to consider when I'm building my sealed deck. But this was the first one out of the demo kit. So I'm going to leave that to the side. The next one I'm going to open is the Utera. Wrapping doesn't want to work with me right now. Give me one sec. There we go. So again, I'm going to go through the level 3s, and then that will just kind of show the most powerful version of each card. But obviously, when deck building, you kind of want to look at all 3 levels, because some cards can be very powerful at level 3, but not as powerful at level 1 and 2. And there's some cards that you can potentially that are not level gated, and you could play them at any level and benefit from their abilities. So again, just for the sake of opening this on stream and kind of letting everyone see what we open as we look at the deck, I'm just going to look at the level 3s here. So we've got a level 3 Dentrify, so you can replace up to 2 creatures with Oakfather minions. It's interesting because this can be used offensively or defensively if someone has a really big threat and you'd rather them just have an 8/8 with Breakthrough. We've got a Ferocious Roar, so you could give your creatures +6/+6. We've got to Lead the Charge to give a creature +15 health and ready it. We've got a Mystical Rex, so then whenever you another one of your dinosaurs comes into play, give it +5/+5. You may have it battle an enemy creature, and this deploys to make a Wisp as well. We've got a Mystical Tangle Sprout with Defender, activate to give another creature +4/+4. We've got a Shardplate Delver, Breakthrough, if it replaced a creature, give it +7/+7. We've got a Shroud Thorn Splicer, so this level 3 has Breakthrough. Deploy, you may replace another one of your creatures with an Oakfather minion. We've got a Soothing Ranger. If you have no empty lanes, give it +5/+5 as a deploy ability. It also has Deploy, you gain 5 life. There is a Swamp Moss Lurker, so at the level 3, deploy, give it attack equal to your health. The other ones, you can play it for free depending on what your health is. Then we have a Venerable Packmaster. When one of your warriors is dealt damage, give it +10 attack. So this is our Utera deck. This is actually kind of interesting when you look at it compared to the Aloyan deck that we just opened, because there's actually a lot of replacement synergy in this half of the deck. So obviously before I showed there was a lot of warriors in the Aloyan half, so the Venerable Packmaster could combo pretty well with that. There's also the Soothing Ranger, which is a warrior here. The Splicer and the Shardplate Delver both deal with replacing of creatures, which could also be very interesting, because with the gizmos and the Scrapper and all those other cards, if you replace with another ability, you still get your replacement trigger off of those cards. So this could actually be an interesting combo directly with this Aloyan pair that I've already opened. There are 3 dinosaurs in here that kind of lead together with this Mystical Rex. So again, if there's a lot of dinosaurs in the Tempest side, there's a chance that this might be a good pairing there. So this deck is a little less focused than I would typically like to see in a deck, but at the same time, there's a lot of cards that really can help push damage, so it's something that definitely is worth keeping in mind. So let me look at the Forgeborn for this deck. So we've got an Oros. The level 2 is a Shapeshift, so you can give a creature +3/+3, and it has all creature types this turn. The level 3 is a Growth Aura, to give your creatures +4 and you gain +4. And then the level 4 is Darkforge Drain. Give a creature +2/+2 for each spell in your banish pile. So definitely this one gives buffs at all 3 levels. Dark Forge Drain is definitely an ability you like to see earlier in the game than later, but it's still a very strong ability. This deck has a handful of spells, so that could be strong. And then the Shapeshift can be interesting to make something a warrior, to have a little bit of that warrior synergy. So this is definitely an interesting deck. We're going to open the other two, and then we'll kind of see if this pairs well with any of the other decks. So I'm going to put this one to the side here as well. Alright, so the next one I'm going to open is the Necrom deck. Seeing Blightwitch on the front, it's a very strong card, so it's one that I'm always happy to see when opening a deck. Alright. So the first card here in this Necrom deck is a Blightwitch. So at level 3 you could activate, destroy another one of your creatures to play any number of spells for free. This can be a game changer if you have a handful of spells and then can activate your Blightwitch. So let's see what the rest of this deck looks like. We've got a Cutthroat Necromancer, another really strong card. So you could activate at level 3 to play a card from your discard pile for free. At any level, you can deploy to destroy another one of my creatures, so destroy a creature of the same level. So right here, if I have like minions out, or like so if I have an Oakfather out, I could destroy a level 2 creature with that Oakfather. If I have a Wisp out, I could destroy the level 1 creature. So removal on a Necromancer is always going to be strong. That being said, it does lower its base stats, so it will be easy to kill. But together, a Blightwitch and a Necromancer could be really strong together, so I'm excited to see what the rest of this deck looks like. We've got a Dreadbolt, so destroy a creature. So with Blightwitch, that could be really strong because it lets you play spells for free. So if I can use a Blightwitch to destroy a creature, I could basically level multiple cards in a turn and still be able to destroy something. So let's see what the rest of the next card is. We've got a Discian Siphon, which is actually one of my favorite cards in purple, or in Necrom. So at level 3, it's deal 5 damage to the enemy player, you gain 5 life. Then you may destroy one of your creatures to play a card for free. So at level 1, you could play a level 1 card for free when you destroy one of your creatures. At level 2, you could play a 1 or 2 level card for free. And then at level 3, Discian Siphon lets you play any card for free. So it helps you accelerate out while also dealing damage. Then if you have something like a Shambler, you could gain life off the destruction trigger. So definitely a great card. We've got a Ghoulish Geist is the next card here. So the level 3 ability on Ghoulish Geist is to the next, or when you deploy it, the next level 3 card you play this turn is free. The level 1 and level 2 have similar abilities to Necromancer, so it lets you upgrade a level 1 card in your discard pile, and then the level 2 lets you upgrade a level 1 or level 2 card from your discard pile. So far this deck is really strong. So let's see the next card, a Gloom Reaper Hag. So when this is destroyed, deal 3 damage to a player and you gain 3 life. This card at all 3 levels has the same ability, but it could synergize really well with a Blightwitch just because you could destroy it to deal damage if it's going to be blocked or if it's ready for death. So definitely a strong card here. Next we have Necrovive. So each enemy player destroys one of their creatures. At level 3 it's free. At level 2 it can be free if you have less creatures than your opponent. Then at level 1 you just play it to destroy one of their creatures. And they get to pick, but it's still a very strong card. Then we have Om Nom Nom. So at level 3, you can give a creature -8/-8. If this destroys a creature, you may play a Zombie Brute minion. It gives different negative buffs at all 3 levels. And you can make a mindless zombie from the level 1 and the level 2 card. Then finally we have a Raging Spectre, which has, I think it's the last card. Nope, that's not the last card, but it has aggressive and stealth. Then we have a Tormenting Walker. So you could give an enemy creature -6/-6 on deploy. Then it has deploy, destroy an enemy minion. So this is actually a really strong deck. So I feel like, without seeing the red side or the Tempest side, this is probably one of the 2 decks I'm going to be pairing with. It's got a lot of spells that are strong. It's got a lot of removal. And it's also got Tormenting, which is minion destruction, which is very nice. So let's see what Forgeborn we have here. Our Forgeborn right here is Nyx. So the level 2 ability right here is Soul Rip. So destroy one of your creatures to play a level 1 creature for free. We've got Army of the Damned to play up to 2 Zombie Brute minions. And then we've got Raising Dead to play a mindless zombie minion and then give your minions +6 attack. So there's a lot of brute generation here. And then I could destroy something to play a level 1 creature for free on my level 2 cycle. So yeah, this is a pretty strong deck and definitely a pretty strong Forgeborn. So let me go into my last deck here, and this is my Tempest deck. Alright, so the first card we have is an Assailing Stormling. So it's got mobility 1, and then at level 3 the deployability is, if this is unopposed, deal 7 damage to the enemy player. So just a very aggressive card, because you could play it unopposed, then mobility it into a different lane if you need to. We've got Conflagrate. So at level 3, deal 4 damage to each of up to 4 different creatures and or players. Then you can increase the damage by 2 for each mage you have in play. So it's a great removal card when you have mages in your deck. We've got a Firefist Uranti. So it's got Defender and Activate. This deals damage equal to its power to a creature or player. At level 1, it deals 1 damage when you activate it, and at level 2, it deals 2 damage. We've got a Flame Shaper Savant. Whenever you play a level 1 card, deal 5 damage to a creature or player. So Savant, at all levels, deals damage whenever you play a level 1 card. It could be really strong if you have stuff that generates minions that are level 1, so you could play like 2 minions off of a Summoning Council and deal 10 damage if you play the level 1 Summoning Council. Actually, I guess you'll deal 15 damage by playing the Summoning Council and the 2 minions with the Savant on the field. So it could be a very, very strong card if you use it in the right pairing. We've got a Fleet Lasher. So the Fleet Lasher has mobility 3, and then deal 7 damage to another creature. So damage that it deals is equal to whatever the power is, basically. So at all 3 levels, it scales in power, and that's how much damage it could deal to a creature. We've got a Piercing Warhound. So deploy if this replaces a creature, it deals 7 damage to a creature or player at level 3. And then because it's piercing, at level 3, when your creatures and spells deal damage, they ignore armor. So it could be really strong in a deck against a deck that is running a lot of cards with armor in them. We've got a Pyre Song that destroys all enemy creatures with decreased health. We've got a Sparking Stonefist. So when you deploy it, it deals 5 damage to all other creatures at level 3. We've got a Thunder Stomper, so you could activate it to deal 2 damage to another one of your creatures to give it attack. So in this case, at level 3, it gives it 6 attack. And then we've got a Venerable Worm, which has no abilities, but it's just a 15/5. So this is our last deck here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly turn off the camera, move over to the SolForge website. I'm going to scan all 4 of these in, and then I will pick a deck to build. And then I actually just got a message from Grandfather as well that he's ready when I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also set up to get him on the call so we could talk through as I build. So let me move over to the website here. And then give me 1 sec just to set up my desk now that I have the cards to the side. Oh, and actually the one thing I forgot before I do, let me go back to the cameras. I forgot to look at the Forgeborn on the last card. So we have Asunder. It's got a level 2 Gathering Storm, so whenever you play a spell this turn, deal 3 damage to a creature or player. It's got a Stim Belt, which has, at level 3, play a spell for free. And then Ice Armor at level 4. So you and one of your creatures gets 15 armor this turn. So Stimbolt and Gathering Storm tend to be the 2 abilities I like most out of Sunder, so it's cool to see them both on the same card, or in the same Forgeborn. But I usually like it when level 3 is the Gathering Storm, because 5 damage for every spell you play can be pretty strong against an opponent when you go through and look to attack them. So let me now go back to the SolForge website. I'm going to scan these decks very quickly, so bear with me here. And while I do that as well, I'm going to call Grandfather in. Hey, what's up, Grandfather?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Alright, so I just finished opening all 4 decks on stream. I just need to scan these in real quick and then do a final pairing of the decks, and then I will be ready to do our game. Did you see the ones I opened? I don't know if you were watching, because I saw you were at the very beginning.
I was watching for a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I'm getting information. I'm just
Oh,
did
you see the Necrom deck that I opened?
I saw. I heard Blight Witch, and I just like looked right over, and then you had a Cutthroat Necromancer. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, so that deck, I was like, as I was opening, I was just like, oh, he's gonna be jealous of this one. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm scanning these all in right now. Um,
No worries.
I'm
No
gonna talk
worries.
through real quick what I'm gonna pair. Just because you're ready for the game, I might talk through that discussion a little quicker than I normally would have, and then we could get started and get going. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No worries. I have to figure out the how to record,
no worries.
so we're good now.
But yeah, so as I'm getting this stuff ready, I'm very excited to do this. So this is an idea that you came up with to do a little bit of a demo deck battle for your YouTube channel that's coming out. So
Yeah.
I had some demo decks as well, and I thought it would be awesome. I think like you kind of reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" So I'm very excited for this game, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about your upcoming YouTube channel as I'm getting this stuff set up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's gonna be called YU Inspire Gaming. It's uh, it's a name. It's a company name. I started a long time ago, and I just thought maybe I'll just make it another division to it. But yeah. So my channel right now is just basically pack openings and then playtesting the decks. But into more of like a deep dive, pretty much what you kind of did with like going over the half decks and what it'd be really good to pair with. Um, but essentially, I am on an impossible journey on trying to find the holy grail of soul forges, where there's certain cards in this game that are so rare that no one's pulled it yet, even after the hundreds of thousands of decks have been opened already. And some of which are so rare and so powerful and so broken that the moment I register it, it'll probably be banned right away.
Yep, that's been the rumor for a few of these cards. So I don't know if you want to say which cards those are. If you want to keep that a surprise for your channel.
Oh no, it's yeah. I mean, it's not really. I mean, I don't think it's really much of a surprise. I am on the journey to finding the either the betrayer, summoning Stitcher, or the betrayer, mythical Stitcher. Um, I just want to have it, honestly. Even if I can't play it, I just want to have it, just to say I have it. I'm like, oh, this is the holy grail. So
so
I
do,
mean, I think you open more packs than I have, and I'm like, man, I gotta get on this guy's level.
yeah, I've opened a lot, but there's apparently a lot of people who have opened a lot more than what myself and you have opened as well. So right now, I think I am a little like I'm under nine. I'm above 900, but I'm under 950. So I'm somewhere between the 900 to 950 registered decks so far. Um, I think last time we spoke, you were like I think 3 to 400, right?
No, actually, well, yes, I was because I've actually been giving away a lot of my decks. Um, Pretty much half decks I know I'm never gonna play that I don't really see. It's not kind of my either it's not my play style or the fact that I just don't see um I guess competitive potential for the game. So I just kind of wrap those up and then give them out to new players. So hopefully, if it's the paywall of buying a booster or a starter kit, I'm like, here, have it for free. I have a lot of them. Just take it.
That's
Here are the
awesome that you do
mats.
that.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I know definitely it's something that I want to start doing as well for my local community because like it's something that I've seen you do that and it's definitely been very inspiring to see because I feel like you've definitely been doing a great job growing your local community from that.
I mean, I can't take all the credit, but I will say that I am super stoked that Star City Games is gonna finally do a let's play playthrough of the SolForge in Charlotte in the weekend of March 3rd, and even Shadow's gonna be there.
That's really exciting.
So the thing is, I have a marathon, or my lady has a marathon that weekend, so we're actually going further to South Carolina on Myrtle Beach. So I'm like, can we leave a little early and stop by? But we'll see.
Oh, that's really funny. Well, I hope you could make it down there for that. Um, And then the one other thing I want to mention, so I know that me and you have a little bit of a friendly competition right now. Both of us obviously have a lot of events in our areas, which is definitely something that helps us out. But we're currently number one and number two on the bronze leaderboard. So I know me and you message each other all the time, like having a little bit of friendly banter back and forth. But it's something that like I think both of us are really trying to grind events and see what we can do locally and kind of in a little bit more of the larger community in terms of playing. Like, I think both of us have aspirations to play a little bit more competitively, but it's definitely something that I think it's fun, and I'd like to definitely play more games with you, kind of just because we're both kind of on that same grind.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I have ever since I saw you there. I will to even to your audience. Let me just say this. There was one day, and I do mean exactly 24 hours, and I have a screenshot of this where I was number one uh, on the SolForge website. I was ranked number one for uh, 24 hours before um, Sam over here decided to play another tournament and win it. So,
Yeah, it's funny because you messaged me and you were like, "Oh, I finally surpassed you," and then the next day we had a local tournament on a Saturday, which was like right before the end of the year, and I was like initially planning to play a deck that I was brewing, and then when you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna end the year at number one," I actually pivoted and I was like, "I gotta play something that I am pretty confident in because I want to try to push myself back over the edge." So it was definitely a fun little end of the year moment. But yeah, you did surpass me. Unfortunately, I've had just a lot more opportunity to play, which is like one of the reasons why I have a little bit of a lead right now, because I have two different stores who are running weekly tournaments right now. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of go twice a week, play, and get the opportunity to potentially get some renown for myself and my decks. So real quick, actually, let me just walk through the four decks here and talk through the kind of deck building.
yeah, go for it.
The deck that I know out after opening them that I'm the most excited about, which I'll bring on the screen right now, is my Necrom deck, which has four spells: a Blight Witch, a Necromancer, a Ghoulish Geist, and then some removal-based creatures as well as some stealth. So this deck I think is very strong because it has three sources of removal. Two of them can be targeted, and one of them lets your opponent choose. But the fact that Necrovive can be free can be really strong, as well as Discient Siphon having the ability to let you do free cards lets you basically level other cards in your deck and have more things at a higher level for when you get to your further cycles. So one thing I look for when I build decks is how can I play more than two cards per turn. And this deck having a Blight Witch, which lets me activate to destroy another one of my creatures to play either a level one, a spell, or all of the spells in my hand for free. Blight Witch is awesome when you have a lot of spells in your deck. Your Necromancer lets you upgrade stuff that are in your discard pile, and then at level 3 lets you play stuff for free. And then your Ghoulish Geist as well gives you the opportunity to upgrade. So this is something where I'm definitely very excited about this deck. This is one that I could see myself potentially pairing with something and playing um, in my local tournaments. So this is what I'm going to build around. So looking at the stats, um, it's six creatures, four spells. There's three mages, two spirits, two zombies. It's got one of those spirits is a spirit warrior, and then we have a zombie mage here. Um, so something to consider is obviously there's three mages, and one of the decks had a conflagrate, so that could potentially be something that is exciting to look at for a pairing here. Um, and then at the same time, we've got the four spells, three of which are removal, which can be very strong. So my green deck here, unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to put this one to the side and not play it tonight. This is again an interesting deck because you have your Mystical Rex, which lets you have your other dinosaurs battle when they enter. So it's a nice form of removal on a creature, as well as like you kind of can bait your opponent by playing your Mystical Rex or whatever Rex you have, knowing that they're going to have to remove it because it's a larger threat on the board. So I like to tend to play decks that have cards like Rex in them because it's just a very high perceived threat and can be utilized to either be a little bit of a decoy or it can be utilized to actually be removal, depending on what your deck looks like. Unfortunately, because none of the other decks really have a lot of dinosaur synergy, um, And because I really like that purple deck, I'm not going to necessarily push this one today, but I think this is an interesting deck for me to try at a later date, especially because Shardthorn Splicer can be a really strong card to help you push an Oak Father during cycle 1. Even though you get rid of another one of your creatures as well as destroying this, that breakthrough can be really strong. So I'm not going to be utilizing the Utera deck here, but again, it's something that I'm going to be looking at to potentially pair with another deck that has a lot of dinosaurs. Now, this Aloyan deck is actually pretty interesting because it has 4 spells as well, in addition to a lot of stealth creatures and some removal. So this is what I'm actually considering to pair with that Blight Witch, because it's got, if I activate with the Blight Witch, I could play Energy Prison for free, which lets me further upgrade cards. There's not really a ton of warriors in the other half. I think it was like 1 or 2, but Force Field could be strong to help keep my Blight Witch around. Gauntlets is really strong as removal, especially because it scales very well, and lets you also protect your creatures. And then Warmonger Mod, I know a lot of people on Discord tend to not really like this card, but this is a card that I like a lot personally, because if you get past level 1, especially by using something like your Necromancer or your Ghoulish card, you can basically play minions and then play creatures for free. So it basically ends up being a free buff for your creatures as well as triggering your Spells Matters cards. So I'm definitely going to consider this, especially because we also have 3 stealth creatures, your Pulse Mage, which is removal, and then some nice little replacement synergy for the gizmos that you could be playing. So then my other option here is my red deck. So the Stormling is a very aggressive card. Assailing can really help push damage over the top. If I look here in my stats, I actually have only 2 mages on this half, and then this deck had 3 mages. So I could technically have 5 mages for my Conflagrate. There's a nice little combo of the Firefist Uranti, which could ping creatures and then kill them with the Pyre Song, which is something that's worth considering. I could also technically do something similar with the Flameshaper Savant by playing a level 1 card to ping and then play a Pyre Song to kill. We've also got the ability to use my Sparking card to deal damage to everything. So there's a lot of just kind of like ping damage synergy to remove creatures. I honestly think that this deck would be really strong with an Utera deck that's very aggressive, that cares a little bit more about the replacement synergy. Because I'm kind of interested to try to maximize the Blight Witch tonight, even though I don't usually push Aloyan, just because it's not really my playstyle, I think I am. Let me look at this one more time, but I think I might pair my Aloyan with my Necrom here.
Yeah, and actually, I was gonna do that, but then for me, for the decks that I pulled, I I went with the uh, Utera Necrom.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a typical really strong combo.
Yes.
Just because both, I think, both of those factions tend to be a little bit more pushed when you look at the overall power level of all the cards. So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to make a stronger deck out of those 2 sets than it is to make it with another faction. Um, the thing is, like, I'm looking at this red deck, and part of me wants to play it, but in terms of like the synergy, I don't think this will synergize as well. Because, like, granted,
And
Conflagrate's nice, but and Pyre Song could be nice too. But I think with all the upgrading, if I could upgrade my assassins and my camouflage cards and all that kind of stuff quickly, like, I might be able to push a little extra damage. Um,
and just to let everybody know, this isn't. There's really nothing on the line, but
oh yeah,
everything is on the line.
oh yeah.
This-
Yeah, exactly. Because we definitely have a little bit of a friendly rival here, so it's like we both want to win this game. So it's like, so. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna close out the Sutera deck because again I like it a lot, but I don't necessarily think I want to play this with the Necrom deck that I have. Because granted, I could try to use Rex as a removal ability. Like now I'm kind of talking myself into it because it's like the Mystical Rex does generate a minion, which lets me like kill with the Blight Witch. The lead the charge could also ready the Blight Witch and ready the Necromancer. Um, but I'm not really gaining a ton of life. Um, all right, so I think I'm gonna put for sure this red deck to the side, just because um, I feel like in terms of the payoff from the upgrading and all the stuff I want to be doing, this deck is kind of aggressive. I just don't think it has enough spells to really benefit off of kind of the strategy I'm going for. And the Savant, with all the upgrading I'm going to be doing, it's just not going to be as useful because there's not a ton of minion generation. So I'm going to rule that out. Um, so let's see. The Delver can be strong. All right, let me just check how many warriors I have. So this one has 3 warriors, and this deck has 1 warrior, so 4. I feel like for the sake of today, I'll have more fun trying this Aloyan deck, just especially because, like, again, a lot of people kind of look a little down on the Aloyan side of things. But I think this will be an interesting combo, and see if I could push a little bit of stealth damage with all that extra upgrading I can do. So yeah, I'll give this a go. So let me just quickly fuse this up.
Yep.
Um, there's like a little part of me that's like, oh, I kind of want to do that at Terra deck just because of the minion generation, but it's just not really what I want to be playing tonight. All right, so let's call this demo deck sealed. Got the Dancing Sleeping Men. And then we've got the Free Sneering Matrix Corpse. Sorry, the 2 decks names. All right. So I got this saved up. If we want to jump on tabletop, we could get the game going.
Yeah.
All right. So let me switch this
I have
over.
a game. Do you want to start a game, or
No,
you can join mine?
if you got it
Cool.
up, let's do it.
Yep.
Sorry, it took me a few extra minutes to go through that
Oh,
deck
it's
building.
fine. It's fine. It's 100% fine.
All right, so I'm searching now. All right, I got you. Let's connect, and let me just check what you said the password was in the chat. So it's all right, cool.
I'll promote you.
Sounds good.
All right.
I just can't believe that I picked an Aloyan deck for this. I was like,
I
usually,
mean, I was going to, but then I was like, there's not much synergy for one scientist.
yeah, but I kind of want to, especially with like the total of 8 spells here. I think that'll be fun. All right, and I just gotta quickly look at these Forgeborn and pick which one I'm gonna utilize.
Gotcha.
Oops. All
And
right.
I will start recording now.
All right, awesome. All right, so my 2 options here, we've got the Steel Rosetta, which can upgrade cards. It can reanimate something, or it can play 2 megas. And I've got the Nyx, which has destroy one of my things to play level 1 for free, Army of the Damned, and then Raising Dead. I think I'm gonna try to do Steel Rosetta because I really want to be able to at level 3 do some sort of like shenanigans where I could repurpose a Necromancer and play 2 things from the yard. So I think I think I'm gonna go for it just for that. So let's do our Steel Rosetta as our Forgeborn here, and then let's see what you got going. So we've got a 5 speller on your purple side,
Yeah.
and a lot of removal too. And let's see what your green side's got going. Oh, Mantis at least doesn't have a Forge Seal too, but you got a lot of life gain with a Swamp Moss. This is gonna be interesting. All right, cool. I'm ready when you are.
All right. Let's set up.
All right, this is for All the clout. No, I'm just kidding.
All the-
uh,
Let's see who's the better drafter.
all right, interesting. So I'm first, which uh, just gotta double check your removal. So I think what I do here, it's a little bit of an awkward hand to start with. If I start with this, then I play that, activate that. I could upgrade a lot of stuff this turn, but I don't know if it's the perfect situation. I think what I do, I think this is the one that's more important to start with. So I'm just going to play out a Pulse Mage,
Ooh,
especially
what is?
because knowing you don't have a ton of stuff that can remove it as a first card, and then I'm going to pass to you.
Okay. There you go.
Yep, Zimus is pretty strong here. Especially because now you could Grave Pact with that Zimus, so it's like I got to keep that in mind. Um, but I definitely want to be able to play two things here, which means I have to. Basically, this Pulse Mage is going to die. I wanted to level it was the main thing here.
Of
But
course, of course.
if I start with this, I destroy that. I wish I just had like one more creature. um, all right, so if I play this here, you're definitely going to be able to block it. This is the kind of hand I think I would have loved to have without the Forge. It's still not a bad hand because I'm upgrading three cards that I want to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just one of those awkward hands. So what I'll do here, I'm going to play directly into your move though, which is most likely a Grave Pact in your hand. Which I hate knowing that I'm just going to die to Grave Pact here, but it's still I think worth it. So I'm going to play a Blight Witch here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to activate the Blight Witch, destroying the Pulse Mage
Yes.
to play a free Dissient Siphon, which I can't sacrifice another thing because I really don't want to get rid of Blight Witch. But I'll deal 3 gain 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I want to make you have to get rid of it at this point. And then 2.
Okay. All right. Hmm. So my thought process on this is, man, technically I could just kill her. Your guess is almost incredible. It's almost perfect. I do have a Great Pact in my hand,
Yep.
and but I also have a Torbergite Guardian. So I was like,
Mm,
can I spend a turn, or is it not worth it? It's probably not worth it. We'll see.
yeah. I had to hope you just didn't. But that's the thing here. So it's like looking at your deck, specifically looking at your removal. The only thing that kills the Blight Witch at this moment, from a removal standpoint, is the Grave Pact, and then plus Zimus with Grave Pact is such a great value that it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh. And you always just got to assume they have it. That's like something from all the other games I've played. It's just like you got to do the odds. Obviously, right now there's a lot of other cards in your deck, so but it's just you got to play around those kind of threats, and it's like that's why I specifically played the with the Pulse Mage first because it was like it doesn't die to any of your other pieces of removal. So that's one of those thought processes of why I played that card initially. All right, but yeah, and then we go to damage. I have nothing in the front.
Yep.
And
Nothing in the front. And so for the record, when I just raised his attack, he actually dies and he comes back with the reanimate ability,
yes,
and that's why he's now at a 5/3.
for sure.
All right. So let's say bring out a little spring dryad.
I don't like that card. It's such a strong card.
It's a very strong card.
So what I think I need to do here is I need to play something in front of that Dryad that will likely kill it, or will target his removal. So in this situation here, um, I think what I want to do is play this first. Typically, I would play this second, but based on this card in my hand, so don't look at the stream, Joe.
Oh,
um,
I'm not. I'm
good,
not.
good,
I'm
good.
not.
No, because I know
No,
you know
I'm.
I'm streaming.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah. No.
card, typically, I like to. I'm playing this second just in case he plays something that will be beneficial here. Otherwise, this is the type of card that I would play first, just to try to. Or sorry, I would play the second, so I know I'm guaranteed the kill, potentially, or because I don't have the forge, he doesn't have a response afterwards. But basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a Reaper Hag behind that Spring Dryad,
Ooh. Okay.
and then I'll
Okay.
pass to you.
All right. I'll play a combat mantis
Ooh,
and destroy a Greek Reaper Hag
well,
and take my
that is
first trigger. I do gain a life, but then
yes,
I do take 3,
hmm
and then you gain 3.
definitely a good move. I forgot to look at your Cersei abilities before I did that move. I was hoping you would play minion because I have a tormenting walker that I want to use to remove. So that was definitely not the risk that I took there did not pay off. I guess is the best way to put it. Because I was like, there's nothing he could do to kill it, but that is the one thing you could do to kill it. So what I'll do here is I need to prioritize getting rid of your Spring Dryad just because it's going to gain you a lot of life. That being said, with what's in my hand, um, nothing's going to do that. Um, so what I'll do here is, yeah, I've got a lot of removal that's potentially coming up next turn as well. So I think I want to level this so it can be utilized later, and I will do it by getting rid of 1. Okay. I think because it's basically a guaranteed kill here, I'll give your Zimus -2/-2 when I play the Tormenting Walker.
Okay.
Alright, and then we'll go to damage. So I'll take 6.
Yep.
And this will take 3. But yeah, so I wanted, like, typically I would play something like the Grim Reaper second. That's what I was kind of talking about. But then I was just like, oh, I want to hope that you play something minion related so I could get the extra value there. And it's like the greedy move, not the right move, but I did it anyway.
I mean, you are still winning.
Alright, but this is an interesting hand. This is a hand that I actually I'm okay with here. I don't get to play a few of these cards, unfortunately, but I still go for it. And that forces you to also waste more resources. Okay, so I'm going to play a Cutthroat Necromancer here. I'm going to destroy my Tormenting Walker to kill your Spring Dryad, just
Okay.
so you can't
Oh,
gain any
okay.
more life. And then I'll activate it to upgrade a level 1 card in my discard pile.
Okay.
So let me upgrade. I'll upgrade the Camouflage Scrapper. And then I'll pass to you.
All right. So I have. So my thought process in this. I do have a couple. I have 2 things I can play to maybe squeak in some more damage, but it doesn't seem like it's really that worth considering what I need. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of your
Yeah.
Cuther Necromancer. Gain 4. And trigger.
So now I'm in a spot where I want to upgrade a couple of these cards in my hand. Now, this card here, I could even tell you because now it's like it doesn't really matter because you're gonna see what I play. Like I have the Dreadbolt, and I was hoping that you would play a creature, but again, I really like had to like because I don't really want to be Dreadbolting either of these cards.
Mantis.
And like granted, like I could Dreadbolt the thing and then play the Cutthroat after, but it's just again there's not a lot of benefit here, and it's like I feel like the Dreadbolt's probably what I want to get just so I could have the level 2 removal, But then I have a Warmonger mod too, which I always get tempted to play it because of the fact that it's basically free creatures later on in the game. And then, because like especially a Warmonger off of Blight Witch feels so good. But
And it's also turn 3 of cycle 1, so and
exactly,
we will start getting our Forgeborns.
yeah, which I could always upgrade either of these cards later. So I think here, I might actually throw out the Warmonger mod so I could get it upgraded, and then the Dreadbolt, depending on the threats when I draw it, I could always upgrade it if I need to. So yeah, I'm just gonna do the Warmonger here.
Okay.
I know you're gonna block the Gizmo, but it's more of just the upgrade here is more important for me. And then two.
All right. So since how you did that, I'm not gonna always kill it next turn. Do you have a lot of replace effects? Let's see. Yeah, you have a few. No, I think it's okay. All right, I'm gonna play my Sigmund Fraud
Yeah.
here. I had a Ghastly Renewal in my hand as well,
Oh,
but
nice.
a part of me was saying I should play the Fraud, but then I was like, nope, he's gonna get removed right away. And thank God I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so
So
I'll take 7.
I'll take 2.
All right.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Hmm. You may have. So now my thought process is it worth killing that gizmo?
I understand that thought process.
Ah, I think it kinda is. So I think what I will do is I'll play a Spring Dryad.
Yeah.
And I always say clear their board, so I will take care of that gizmo just in case.
Ooh,
It is just too good for what it is. It's just too good.
I get it. That's interesting though. I like that. That gives me a little bit of breathing room that you've already used your ability.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question is, do I want to use mine? So if I
Well,
do this, and then yeah, I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna activate my ability as well. So I'm gonna play a gizmo here,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna upgrade a Dreadbolt,
Ah,
and then I'll play the Dreadbolt to kill your Dryad.
got it.
And then 2.
Okay. Hmm. I think I should definitely play my Sigmund Fraud.
Nice.
And so I'm going to activate both.
Yeah.
So he'll get 1 extra attack and he'll get 2.
Yeah.
And it's your go.
So that changes my plans a little. Um,
You don't want to take care of the mantis?
the thing is, like, I feel like it's still worth it to just kill multiple things instead of just the one. Because I'll take 11. That's a lot. And the fraud is going to be potentially really strong at level 2. So, yeah, I think I'm willing to do this. I'm going to play a Gloom Reaper Hag here.
Ooh, okay.
And then that's what I got here. So we'll go to damage. These 2 will trade.
Yep.
I'll put this here because of the trigger. I'll take 2.
Yep.
And then yours will take 2. Mine will die.
Take 3.
Yep. Then I gain 3.
All right.
Alright. Interesting.
What a strange combination of cards.
So, if I do this first, doesn't feel great. If I do that, and then I do that. Yeah, I need to start pushing some damage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a Warmonger mod. So play a Gizmo and then play a creature for free.
Yep.
So I'll throw the Gizmo here, then I'll replace it with a Camouflage Scrapper to give it +2/+2.
Okay.
And then I'll pass to you.
It's a, what is it?
8/11.
8/11. Got it. Okay. I think what I will do. Yeah, I'll play my Zimus.
Yeah.
And let's make him aggressive.
Yeah.
+1. Enter go.
Alright. I was hoping you would wait to play your zombies till after, but I'll play a Gauntlets here. I'll deal 3 to that, and I'll get 3 armor.
Interesting.
And then 2.
Well, now my thought process on this is like, do I just -4? Still comes back. Stealth doesn't really make a difference. Now it doesn't make any difference. So let's play some big babies. Big baby boys.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, for next turn. All right.
So I'll take 2, and then this will take 2.
This will die and then come back. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, and then it just loses one of those attack from the other one because it got +1 from the other.
Oh yeah, that's right. Correct.
All right,
Yep.
cool. And then did I take my 2? Yes, I did because I started at 44.
Yep.
All right, good stuff.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is I will start with a combat mantis. I will destroy this mantis and give him +8/+8.
Yeah.
Yep. Enter go.
All right. Let's see. If I start with this. Or I do this. I will start by playing. I think I want it. I'm debating where I put it.
Dang it.
Well, yeah, that Zimus will be dead.
Yeah.
I think that as a blocker, I need to throw this in an open lane. I'll throw it here. I'll give the Zimus -4/-4.
Ah, yes. Oh, and he comes back.
You wish.
All right.
All right.
I will Soul Reap.
Targeting.
I will target. I'll target your Scrapper.
All right, so it takes 3.
And because
and
I have a
I take
beast,
3.
and I gain 6. All right.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? Let's see how greedy I want to be. uh, do I take the 14 here? So we're
And
on cycle
deal
2, turn
aggressive.
3. Um, so like I do have a card with aggressive that I could potentially deal with. But I think what I care more about, if I do this, that I need to keep that on the board. Um, if I do this for that, no matter what, my thing is gonna die the way I play this. So I think I play the Blight Witch here. Let's see. So this has repurpose. Yep.
Repurpose.
All right. So I'm gonna activate. I'll destroy the walker.
Interesting. I thought you were going to repurpose that.
Well, I don't have repurpose yet. I thought
I
about
know,
it,
but
but
you'll have cycle. You'll start a cycle next turn.
that's true. But I gotta play this out. The
Okay.
Dissient Siphon here.
All right.
So I'll deal 4 to you. I gain 4.
Okay.
In this situation, unfortunately, I do not want to destroy one of my things. This is the
Ooh.
I know because it's like
Ooh.
I could destroy the scrapper if I really wanted, but like the stealth for next turn is going to be too strong. I think. I
Okay.
think I'm willing to take 17 here to push for
We
next
can
turn.
we can always kill the Blight Witch.
Nope. I I'm gonna
Okay.
play a little risky here, and
All
I'm
right.
gonna hope for the best in terms of what I draw next turn. Just because there's a lot of really strong spells I think that'll be available at the beginning of cycle 3. Um,
Okay.
all right, so I'll take 17.
I'll take 8. Bold.
Oh yeah.
The brave and the bold. There's a reason why he's number 1, folks.
All right. And did you take the damage off the Dissient Siphon, by the way? Oh, no, because you gained from Soul Reap. That's what it was.
Yes, I gained
All right.
I gained 6 from it.
So, what I'm going to do here... I throw that. That's worthless. So I'm thinking what I want to upgrade more. Um,
Oh.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Oof, this is an awkward hand, unfortunately. It's not exactly what I was hoping for this turn, especially with the removal you have. So I think what I go for here, if I play this, I do that with this. Man, I'm debating how aggressive I want to be. I shouldn't. It's like that would be too. That would be too much for me.
I mean, you are playing purple blue.
Yeah.
Unless you have crazy stealth, which you do from what I think I've heard you say. So
I think what I do here
then get greedy.
is I do that first, that for that, on that. And if you have it, you have it. We're at Soul Siphon, which is going to make this even bigger. So I almost need to actually kill this, which sucks. I don't want to do
Don't you just hate it?
that. Oh man, that Necrovive would have been real nice to be drawing earlier in this game.
Oh
um, I
yeah.
actually forgot it was in the deck until right now. I don't have it yet in my hand, so I'll tell you that. Um,
Yeah, because you could sacrifice a creature.
yeah, so I think
Yeah. Okay.
I need to throw this out. I'm gonna do that on that, unfortunately. Yeah, alright. So I'm gonna play a Raging Spectre
Interesting.
to kill it. And because I want to make you destroy something more valuable to give your thing +8/+8. No, I don't. I think I need to do this now because it'll force you to put. No matter what, this thing's gonna die. So what I'll do, I'm gonna play Gauntlets to give my Blight Witch 6 armor, and I'll kill the stupid demon being so big right now. I think I actually what's your ability here? Upgrade. So you got Army Commander. I think I have to kill this, which I just need to make you put too much more, or put a lot more value into getting this bigger. Then I'll pass to you.
Okay. All right. I'll play a camouflage druid. Actually, I'll just take the 8, and then no, I won't. I say that last time, and I was like, I got screwed. And there you go.
Right, is that it?
That's it.
Right, that thing's about to get big, but I think I just throw out the Ghoulish Geist here. I know you're gonna have removal for it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And then to you.
I do not have removal for it.
Interesting.
But I do have another camouflage demon.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to activate this to destroy this to give it +8/+8.
Oof,
Just enough to kill her.
that is brutal, but what can you do? All right, so we'll go to damage.
I'll take it.
You'll take 8 here.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yeah, I feel like I just have not had a good opportunity to play Blight Witch with things on the board in this game,
Yeah.
so it's been tough because it's like I've had.
Oh, that's right. Stealth. That's right.
All right, interesting.
Why is this in my hand right now? Oh, why? Oh, that's such a bummer. That is such a bummer. Okay, I have a level 3 Spring Dryad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it specifically says if you have more than 30 life,
Yep.
give it 10. But
Yep.
I'm at 30 life.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Alright, well. Okay, okay. I think what I'm going to do. Alright. So I think I will have to play. My good old buddy. Yeah, let's replace this. Zimos.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it's your go.
All right, well, that makes this card worthless, so I don't even have to think about playing that. Let's see. So if I do that, that. This is tough because I'm gonna have to probably eat a lot of damage this turn. So if I
That's 29 right here.
Yep. I do have a way to live through it barely.
Okay.
I can do this. I think you're gonna get this game, is what I'm feeling based on what I'm seeing. But I am going to still play to my outs. Um,
Hmm.
if I do this,
I'm not gonna lie. I did not see stealth being the reason I won this game.
I feel ya. Um, that Zimus made this a little tougher. So I finally have Necrovive in my hand. That's now worth this.
Oh yeah, because I could just. Oh, that's so good.
Let's see. So if I play this first.
For those who don't know, Zimus level 3. He comes back every time with 6 attacks, so he'll be a 12-6 once he dies.
Alright, so if I do this first, then I do this into this and this. That's going to do that. Then, alright, so I guess what I'll do. This is brutal. If I do that there, that's going to do with that. And then that's there. The thing is, I'm just going to be in a really tough spot because I'm going to be at such low life based on what I have to do here. But I still do it because it is my only out, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what I'll do is I'm going to start with a Gloom Reaper Hag, which I'm going to throw here, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
pass.
Okay. Um, I will play my Combat Mantis activator,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get the. I will upgrade my camif. Cam. Where is it? Why is it?
Oh, sorry, I might have been because I was looking at your yard.
Oh, hold on. They're right there.
Alright. Can I still live? Probably not now, because that's a lot more. So let's just play it out, see what happens. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
start by playing a Dissian Siphon. Actually, before I do, I'm going to activate my repurpose on the Camouflage Scrapper. Then I'm going to play
Okay.
Dissian Siphon. So I will deal
Okay.
5 to you, I gain 5.
Okay.
I'll sacrifice the Gloom Reaper Hag to play one of my cards for free. So this will
Okay.
put here because that ability is going to happen in a second. The free card I'm going to play is a Warmonger Mod.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
get a Mega, which I am going to put where. The question is, how much am I taking still? So this is 14, 29, 38. So I think I'm still going to die after everything. Um, but the Mega I'm
Mega's.
going to throw
Mm-hmm.
here, I guess. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I play a card
Trigger.
for free,
Okay.
which is going to be a Camouflage Scrapper here, which will then reanimate this Scrapper. So I'll
Okay.
throw this one, even though it really doesn't make a difference. Yeah, no, I need something to block, though. At least one of these
Mm-hmm.
for a future, if I were to live. But I guess I'll throw that here. And then
Mm-hmm.
this one would get plus 6 attack. And then I gain 3, you lose 3. and then that'll be it. You'll get this one for sure, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 28. Sorry, 38.
38. Yep. And then combat, he goes to 1. He dies.
Oof.
Comes back.
Yeah, and this takes 6. This takes
Woo!
5. Yeah, I feel like my sequencing just never went off the way I needed it to. But at the same time, being able to pump these camouflaged and then like me not being able to kill them was huge, because like if I drew the Necrovive earlier, I think I would have been able to do a little bit of removal. But like at
Yes.
the same time, it's just you got too much of a board presence, and I wasn't able to kill enough. So I guess in this situation though, I don't think the Pyre Song was strong enough to kill any of these because of the buffs you gave them. So that still would have been kind of worthless as well. Ooh,
Yeah. And
that
then I
was.
also, I didn't give you a lot of choice either because you had to keep killing the creature that you didn't want to kill.
I know, yeah, because it was one of those things where I couldn't get creatures on the board for the Blight Witch here. So
Hmm.
ideally, it's like you throw out the Warmonger mod and then kill um, the Gizmo for the Blight Witch to play another spell or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like maybe in this case there just wasn't enough creatures that I would happily destroy to the Blight Witch, because it was
Hmm.
the Blight Witch and the Siphon actually just both. Unfortunately, I just couldn't kill stuff aggressively enough to continue playing free things with while keeping up. So this was an awesome game, and you definitely got there. So
Woo!
oh.
That was intense. I was
That
like, oh man,
was
that last play was I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this. He's there's a reason he's number 1, folks.
well. There's a reason you're number 2 as well, though, because it's like you play very, very well. It's just you haven't had as many games as me on the bronze circuit, which is the only reason why I think it's a little further away. So I don't think it's like a, oh man, like I'm the best ever. You know what I mean? It's like I think I'm a strong player, but I
Mhm.
have a lot of opportunity. So I think that you specifically as well are like, I think we got a nice little rivalry going on, because I think even when we've played each other before, it's been pretty split if I'm not mistaken.
It was I think in the beginning it was more on you. I think the for me I was in the process of still seeing how much I wanted to invest in the game.
For sure.
But then I was being destroyed by you and by the plethora of decks that you have forged together, and I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then I just actually it's because of you. I probably bought over a couple hundred some boosters and maybe more, but now I'm on the I got that itch for collecting and trying to get those holy grails such as like a kindred Shambler, which seems ominous, but no one's claimed it yet.
For sure. Maybe one of these other demo kits that's sitting on my shelf has one in it, but I kind of want to keep some sealed. But maybe I'll open another one eventually. Part of me wants to be like, do you want to play one more? But it's also getting a little late. So if you want to do one more, I could do one
Yeah,
more. But I'm also cool just calling it a night.
I think. Let's see, what time is it? No, I'm actually good for play one more. I think one of the I am going to probably stop recording.
Yeah, no worries.
Probably not record the second one because I think one should be enough for the at least for the YouTube videos.
Yeah, for sure. And you're welcome to, like, I'll send you the footage I have off of Twitch, and you're welcome to
Yeah,
grab
and
that
now
as well.
cool. Yeah, we'll do
All
definitely.
right. So yeah, I'm just interested to see if this is just, maybe when I built this, I didn't really think as much about what creatures I want to be killing, or
Hmm.
if it's just like a, maybe I just drew stuff in a weird sequence. But at the same time, it's just you put so much pressure with
And you
this.
did take a lot of risks too.
I did. I like to play a little
Yeah.
risky. That's one of those things, especially like um, sometimes I'll do like a little bit of like a risk versus reward here kind of thing, and I think in a couple of these situations, especially knowing that I had a lot of stealth creatures too, my hope was that I could build my board a little quicker. And then
Hmm.
like, ooh, I have a lot of removal. If I hit one of those, I could remove one of these creatures. But then it's just like, knowing that I haven't seen a lot yet, I'm willing to take that gamble, and sometimes that gamble pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And like, granted, in a little bit more of a I would say, competitive scene, I might not take as many of those risks, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I think it's fun to kind of push the envelope a little bit in terms of just kind of getting aggressive play out of your cards to try to kind of prep for future cycles and potentially trying to kind of push yourself over the edge. But I think in a lot of those decks that I play very aggressively, I also have some more life gain sources where this one doesn't have as much. It's really only the
Mm-hmm.
Gloom Reaper and the Tissian Siphon.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely agree with you. I take a lot of risks too, but you know, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
For sure.
So I mean, it's the fun of the game. That's all, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that's all I need for footage. But I'm gonna do voiceover all my stuff. So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right, recording stopped. Wow, 40 minutes. It's not bad.
For sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that was only 2,000 megabytes. That's not bad. 2 gigs. I might record the second one. Who knows?
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right. All right. Let me reset the game.
But yeah, that Mantis was so strong too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just that one health above what you needed.
Oh, I know.
All right. So let's see. Let's get these decks. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna. Do you want me to play the same deck, or do you want me to?
Whatever you feel.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Because before the green and blue, I was gonna do just like you, purple and blue. So I might as well just do that as well.
Yeah,
For the
for sure.
for bonus video. Oops. Oops. There you go. Oops. Okay. Let's bring that in. Let's get the recording ready. I gotta try to move the angle of the camera right above. Alright, do that. And we are good to. Okay. I will use my Circes because I don't think Ironbeard is up to the task.
Alright, let's see. Ooh, this is a solid deck though.
Mm-hmm. See what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like your booster overall was a little bit stronger in power level than what I opened. Even though I opened a couple interesting decks, I think
Mm-hmm.
that this blue deck is just cool. I love Apocalypse. I love Drix. When you get the two of them together, it can be so backbreaking.
It, it can be, but not always.
True. Not always, but
I'd rather have a Stitcher and do a Stitcher Drix combo.
that is true.
All right.
Which, speaking of Stitcher Drix and Apocalypse, I know you have that deck that we've not played yet, as far as I know.
Yes.
And I
Yes, you have
really
not.
want to eventually. We got to stream a game where we're both playing our like top tier decks. You know what I mean? Like our
Of
ones that we
course.
would bring to a competition, and I'm kind of interested to see how those would go together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am saving it for the store championship, so
nice.
still has 2 wins under its wing.
Why do I have to be going first again? Especially because this is an awkward hand, but I think I
Hmm.
know what I'm going to do anyway, just so I can get the most value out of it. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll start with a Salvage Sentry. So it's got an armor.
When it's destroyed, like this one. Oh, okay, got it.
Yep,
Okay. Mm. Wow, that's a weak baby.
it is. It's very weak, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I
All
think it's
right.
interesting with like the Blight Witch, Dissian Siphon, all those kind of cards.
Hey, Zinnis.
Yeah. Um, let's see. So if I do this for that, which will make that, which could then do that. I think that's what I want to get going. Alright, so what I'll do here is I'm going to start by playing a Dissian Siphon. So I'll deal 3
Mhm.
to you, I gain 3.
Mhm.
I'll destroy my sentry to play a
Mhm.
level 1 card for free. Um,
Well, you get your gizmo
so
first.
actually, it comes after because you have to finish resolving the Dissian Siphon.
Oh.
So the
Okay.
thing is, it would actually be better for me if the gizmo came first here. But because this is a trigger here, when this is destroyed, you may play a gizmo minion in this lane. You have to finish
Oh.
resolving your spell. So I have to play my level 1 card before I can actually get this trigger. So it's a separate batch. But I
Okay.
wish. So this lane, I basically don't want to put something in. Otherwise, it's going to
Got it.
replace it. So then, let me just get this out of the way. So I'm going to play.
I just learned something new.
Yeah, it's one of those things actually because there was a game I was playing against an individual where I had a stone skin and a spell sprite out. And I
Mhm.
remember thinking, like, cause I know I had asked this question in the past and I couldn't remember the answer. And I'm like, does my spell sprite get that buff from playing the spell? So I went through the rules for the game and then confirmed with MLV or Milvambi. And he basically confirmed, but the rules also say that when you play a spell, the act of playing a spell is you announce it, you do your targets, and you have to fully resolve it. Where with the act of playing a creature is you play it and then all the deploy abilities trigger. So it's like because the way the
Got it.
creatures
Got it.
react kind of makes it feel like it should be the other way around
Mhm.
for spells, but unfortunately the spells you kind of gotta let the whole thing resolve, which would for the Dissian Siphon I have to play because it says to play a level 1 card for free. It's got to finish. So to level it here, I play the Pulse Mage, which will then the trigger from it's the exact same turn as the first one. I'll make a gizmo, which I would have loved to throw that out, but the Zimus here makes it so I don't really want to destroy my gizmo, and I'll let you kind of decide which one you want to block. Because if I do this here, your Zimus just comes back. Um,
Yeah.
it's just one of those awkward situations. I feel like I just don't activate, and I'm okay leveling here.
You sure?
I'm debating, but it's just I don't want your Zimus to see the power, and it's like granted if you um, do a Grave Pact here, it is what it is.
Mhm.
At least you Grave Pacted this away, but I still have a Gizmo for next turn. Yeah, I think in this situation, if it was anything else but Zimus, I activate. But because it's Zimus, I just kind of hope you don't have the Grave Pact again. But it's going to be the same starting hand, I bet. So let's see the Grave Pact.
No, I do not have a great pack, but I did think about this, uh, because a part of me, I don't want him to survive purely because what it can do. Um, but at the same time, I kind of want to. I'm like, should I be greedy and just deal an additional 9 damage in the beginning?
Ooh. Well, here comes a Sigmund fraud.
Yep, that's it. So I think I'm gonna be a little safer on this part. Um,
That's pretty reasonable.
yeah. So all right.
All right, so I'll take 4.
Yep. I'll take 2.
This will die. Your thing will take 2.
Yep.
Definitely solid there.
Yeah, and I still get to keep him.
For sure.
So like I always say, don't give him a chance. So I will deal 4 and gain 4.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What do I care about getting rid of more?
I mean, technically he'll be a 5/3 as well.
That's true.
uh, actually, I might as well just activate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I think what I do here, I want to save that. I need to upgrade this card. So I'll throw my Ghoulish Geist here, and I
Hmm.
upgrade a level 1 card on my discard, which will be a Tormenting Walker. And then 2.
4/4, huh? I should not have done that, but That's okay. Now I wish I didn't activate that, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. There you go.
Oh, Pocketmancer. I hate seeing that. But I have the removal, so I have to do it. And then I'll take 5. This Zimus is going to do a lot of work, it looks like. Because it's not even dead yet.
Nope.
But I can't let a Apocalypser stick, unfortunately. So I think I just Dreadbolt the Apocalypser here. And
Okay.
then, yeah, these trade, I
Reach.
take 5.
Yeah.
So if I do this first, then I could at least throw in front. Yeah, so that's not a bad move, I guess. I'll start with an Om Nom Nom on Zimus. To kill it, you get the reanimated version, and I'll throw the zombie. Do I want it here or do I want to push? I think here I'd prefer to block, right? Yeah, and here in this situation, unfortunately, I'm blocking. All right, 2.
Okay. Drix. Gizmo.
Hmm?
There you go.
Well, I know you're not replacing that, so
Where am I?
I think I'm willing to take the damage here because I was probably going to take it anyway. So it'll at least get rid of that too. So I'll play a Blight Witch here. I'm going to activate, destroy, and Necrovive to let you kill something.
That's good. That's really good.
At least I saw it in the first cycle this time too.
No, so my thought process in this is, should I just let Drix die? See, I'm set with another predicament of, do I just? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All right, so I'm gonna let Drix die.
Interesting. I'm excited to see what you have. So that's to
All
you.
right, you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna replace this. You see this card right here?
Yeah, I do.
Level 1.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
So 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm taking 13.
take 3. That was a greedy play, but I figured I'm on this forge first and I can just always death touch her. Yeah, I'm gonna death touch her.
Yeah,
Death touch the White Witch. And then your favorite beast.
that is true. Right, let's see. So if I do. What did I miss?
I swear, if you got a free Necro Revive out of this, I'll be like, oh my goodness.
No, for sure. It's definitely something that is something you got to worry about here.
Hmm.
But I think what I do, unfortunately, because that's stealth. You can't mantis it. Um,
Oh, so it's a level 2. Got it.
I hate playing this here though, but
For just letting people know, him just telling me his strategies, pay close attention. Just kidding.
for sure. It's just you have so much good removal here. So it's like if I play level 1 and then you just throw out your mantis and kill it, it's just worthless.
Hmm.
So it's like I got to make sure that what I play has a little bit of resilience.
Mhm.
So I can kind of move on with what I want to be doing for the rest of this turn. Um,
So remember, folks, direct removal, very key in this game.
oh, it's so key.
Yeah.
Um, if I, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so if I do that, I throw this there. That'll live, and then your thing will still live, which is unfortunate. If I do this first, it's worthless. Um, so I think what I do here, it just puts me in a not a great position because
Mhm.
you're able to push a lot harder than I can right now.
Mhm.
But what I do is I'll play a salvage sentry here, so it's got 4 armor. Then when it's destroyed, I play a gizmo.
Mhm.
And then I'll pass to you.
Okay. I'm gonna replace the Zimus,
Yeah,
and
pretty
then
solid.
because I replaced Zoe, I get +5
Yep.
to his attack. All right.
So I'm taking a good amount of damage.
Point
Next
3.
next turn I have a blocker. Um, so I think what I do here is I activate to play a
Mhm.
Gizmo, upgrade a level 1 card in my hand. So I'll Gizmo here, I'll upgrade the Raging Spectre. And then I'll
No.
replace, play the Spectre and give it +2/+2.
Got it. Okay.
Alright, so, and this has got aggressive.
Yep.
Alright, so I'll take 15.
Mhm. And he's at 9, so he goes down to 1 health. Okay.
Alright.
Very very good.
Yeah, it's still just not an ideal situation.
Hmm.
Alright, so I've got the Forge here. Um, I think what I'll do to start is I start with this. Let me just see what's in my yard real quick. Yeah. So I'll start with a Ghoulish Geist here. So deploy, upgrade a card in my discard pile.
Mhm.
Will be Gauntlets here. And then 2.
I'll play an can block it.
Oh, I'm like playing around a Mantis that's not even in your deck right now.
Oh, you're right.
That's really funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright,
Awesome answer. Level 2.
let's see. So I feel like I just gotta get rid of that before you replace something. Unfortunately, that means I'm getting rid of one of my own things. The question is, so if I kill this, it's 5. That'll need 3 more to die. If I play this, I can get rid of something. I think I'm okay not pushing damage, knowing how much removal you have. You probably just kill this anyway. And then doesn't feel great, but I think it's what I need to do. And if you have your fraud here, it's going to put me in a real bad spot anyway. So I think I just need to play the Cutthroat Necromancer. I'll destroy the Spectre here to kill your Apocomancer.
Ah, dang, that's a good choice. Okay.
And then I gotta upgrade a level 1 card in my discard pile, which will be, it's either Venerable Assassin or Spiritforge Sentinel. I think I'm going for, just based off of the aggressive, I gotta go Spiritforge.
Dang, I did not expect that.
Alright, and then to you.
Hmm. He'll die. Hmm. 9 + 2 is 11. We'll leave you at. Yeah, I think I might take the chance here. Yeah, I'll take a chance
Oof.
on the Spirit Sentinel.
Yeah.
Give him mobility 1.
Yeah, that's a great
Activate.
move here.
Move that there.
Alright, so I'll take
And
11.
I'll take 7. And this dies. Yeah.
Alright, I basically need to hit my Necrovive or my Dreadbolt.
Hmm. I think I will play my. Hmm. So let's see. You'll probably have to upgrade as needed. So I think best would be good old Zimos.
Yeah?
And you go.
Hmm. So I will. Hmm.
Yeah, I figured if you neck revive, or I can just kill him.
Yeah, that makes it a little tough for me here. If I do this, that still doesn't help.
Does Zimus save me?
Potentially. So I think if it was anything else besides Zimus, I'm in a better spot. But granted, I'm at 5, you're at 39, so I think it's going to be tough either way. But let's see. So I will die before I could gain life if I do it the other way around. I'm trying to think if I have any outs here. Because if I do this, I
I
get
mean,
that.
you need an aggressive, right?
Potentially. The thing is, I have something that could help me a little, but it's not enough, I think. Um, Although, what's he? Oh, that's interesting. But still not enough. Fuck. So sorry. Sorry for the language. Bleep that out. It's I. I had a very interesting play that I could have done
Yeah.
if this was also slightly bigger. If your Zimus was bigger. Um, but it won't work there. So if I do this, you just power that up. If I do this first and then do that, that doesn't work. If I do that, I still take 6. And that's too much to live. So I think you're going to get this one, basically, at this point. But I guess what I do, unfortunately, is... Dang. Yeah, I'm 1 health away from being able to survive this.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Um, that Aegis Wings was so good.
It
Yeah,
was
because
so good. It
basically,
was so good.
I'm just looking to see if there's any other outs, because it's like I have a feeling there isn't. Because right here, I can't push extra damage. I can do that. Figure fine. I can do this. But your Zimus. Why did it have to be Zimus? Because you're gonna laugh when you see my hand. You're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness." Um, but either
this
way,
is next level
yeah,
plays here, everybody. Next level plays.
yeah. So I'll even tell you because right now it's not possible for me to live.
Okay.
So I have a force field level 1 that if I give your Zimus +6 attack, it's just not large enough to be able to play the Impulse Mage that's in my hand. To then make sure I kill your Spirit
Ah,
Forge. Because
got it.
so basically I was debating, can I buff your Zimus so I can kill your Spirit Forge Sentinel, so I can't like lose the life off of the stealth.
Uh-huh.
But the answer is no. And plus, if I played the force field on this, you would immediately be like, something's up. But the thing is, if I Om Nom Nom this to make it bigger, then I can't force field and pulse mage. So
Got it.
I basically, if I pulse mage here, your Zimus just comes back bigger. If it was any other creature, I could pulse mage and I could Om Nom Nom and still, I guess, die in this situation. Um,
Hmm.
but I guess if I were not gonna die, right, the smart move would be to Om Nom Nom your Spirit Force Sentinel at this point,
Hmm.
just so at least I would be closer to living. And it was
Is it level 2?
it's level 2, yeah, so it'd be -5, -5. But I'm still going to take enough to die. And then I'd activate here. Oops, well, I hit reset, but I meant to hit search, but it doesn't matter because it's the graveyard. I'm going to upgrade a Warmonger mod, and then I would pass
Hmm.
to you here.
Okay. Hmm. So either way, you're gonna die from him. So
Yeah, no matter what, I'm dead from that.
yeah, yeah. So I'm glad I didn't play this first because I was gonna play this Spirit Leash somewhat first
Oh,
and kill
yeah.
your Ghoulish, and then you would have had it. But then I was like, I have a Zimus. Why would I do that?
Oh, yeah, if you Spirit Leash first, I play the Pulse Mage, and then, yeah, I'm
Yeah, that would
in
have been game.
good spot.
Or that would have been a good spot for you to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Grant, I was at 5, so I wasn't going to be in a good spot either way. But I would have been in a spot where I could potentially start grinding out a comeback.
I've come back from lower life where I was at 2 and
Oh,
someone
for
was at
sure.
60 and somehow he never could get damage through it and it just ended the game there.
All right. Well, this time you got him. You got 2 wins in a row. So,
Oh my gosh, this is
oh, that was
crazy.
a good game. I think that purple deck though was so good. And
And it doesn't even have a Blight Witch. It's
yeah,
just straight up removal and sacrifice.
yeah, and I think the problem with the pairing that I made is just there's not enough to really. So even though there's some good cards in the blue half, it's just
Hmm.
I want too many things that destroy my own creatures. Because the Discient Siphon, the Pulse Mage, and the Blight Witch all kill my own stuff to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those unfortunate situations where um, it doesn't work out with that. I don't have enough generation of minions, so I think this purple deck is going to be an awesome pairing for quite a few other decks that I have. Plus, knowing that Blight Witch is not in set 2, like having another Blight Witch that has some really strong spells is cool.
Hmm.
I just need to find a pairing that generates a lot more minions. So, unfortunately, even that the Utera deck that I opened just wouldn't have been enough minion generation to push forward as well. Um,
Got it.
but yeah,
Yeah,
these were good games, and you crushed me.
definitely.
So I think it's a
I
good
I
stuff.
just a little disclaimer that when it comes to like high playing games like high strategy and stuff like that, there is a point where it does come down to who draws better in a sense of in the sequence that you get and then when you draw the cards, because there are possibilities where I mean technically you only draw 15 cards out of 20, so there's 20% of the cards you don't draw, or 25% of the cards you don't draw.
For sure.
So it is kind of a hit or miss, but just letting you know, don't be discouraged. Just shuffle back up, play again. Let's forge.
Yeah, and I think another important thing though is just sequencing of what you have. So it's like obviously you don't have control over what you draw, but then trying to sequence what you have around what your opponent could be potentially playing is so important in this game. So it's like, for example, by you playing that Zimus first versus second here, even if it was like, because you basically were like, ooh, I was kind of thinking about playing Spirit Leash before I played my Zimus, but then I think in the back of your mind you're like, oh, but he has Necrovive, and it's like he has Pulse Mage. So those are the kind of things where it's like you need to basically throw a creature down first to be able to protect your Spirit Forge Sentinel, because that is the threat that will win the game here. And then by me not having the Forge and not having either the removal or something with aggressive, there's nothing that I can do except hope that I have one of my answers. So it's like sometimes it's like you play to your outs. I think that especially in sealed, where you haven't created your decks, you got to try to be aggressive, and that's where sometimes you take a little bit extra damage than you normally would. But at the same time, it's like you kind of got to calculate your odds a little bit and hope for the best in terms of like, hey, this is my out. At this point, this is the only thing that will answer it. So it's like, if I draw that, this is what's going to push me forward. But if I don't, like, I'm going to be in a situation where I'm going to have to play something else anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of looking at your pros and your cons in terms of what you're going to draw versus what you're going to play. And then knowing that, yes, if you don't draw it either way, you're going to be in a rougher position. But if one of those draws is going to push you over the top, like sometimes that little extra advantage is worth taking the risk. Because if you draw it, like if I drew a Dreadbolt here, I could have been in like, I would have felt so happy. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Oh
I've been
yeah.
like,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
um, but so that's one of those situations where it's just do the best you have with what is left in your deck. There it was. It was right below.
There it is. Oh man.
Um,
And don't ever look at it. It's a feel bad moment.
oh no, but that's the thing where it's like well, the thing is especially because this is the
Oh,
cycle two
that's
turn three,
oh,
like
that's right. So you knew exactly what.
yeah. So it's like I knew I was missing my Siphon, I was missing my Necrovive. It was like all it was basically almost entirely removal. I think you just hit the card that was moving over.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I was like,
So let's see
what?
what was left over. Oops. Yeah. So it's
The
like
Blight Witch.
basically I would have been.
Wow.
So I was
Oh my
averaging
god.
to these cards when I played my last turn. So
Oh
I was like, I've
man.
got like three removal left. I've got, and like granted, I did draw the Om Nom Nom and the Pulse Mage, which was also removal. So it's like I had a lot of removal in the deck, but it's just unfortunately the Zimus here would have been too good. Um, but I think you forged an awesome deck in both situations, just because there was enough aggressive stealth in this game that could deal with it, and you got your creatures above the threshold of my removal quicker than I could get my removal out.
You see this, everyone? You see how many cards he has upgraded?
Oh yeah, that's the thing though. So I also the way that I like to play is I like to upgrade as many cards as I possibly can, because once you
Uh-huh.
get to cycle 2, like your cards are going to be so much stronger if you can like play your Discian Siphon. Like yeah, it might not be worth it to kill your Tormenting Walker early in the game in terms of like your blocking ability and like hey, I might take more damage, but being able to then Discian Siphon play that and get your Necrovive, like now your Necrovive's level 2 and could potentially be free. So like I could have been in a situation where I could have played a free Necrovive, a Dreadbolt, and then a Blight Witch into Discian. You know what I mean? So it's like I could have had like a crazy situation if I drew those upgraded cards because I had already upgraded them.
Oh
So
yeah, you definitely could have played in sequence Discian to bring out a Blight Witch,
yep.
and then use the Blight Witch to kill something else. Play a Dreadbolt, play a Necrovive, whatever, and then play a Tormenting Walker, all in the same turn.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, it's like you can't count on those draws. So it's like
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
yeah. So um, yeah, I think that's the most important thing is just kind of like weighing your odds, and sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you want to play somewhat reactive, in my opinion, but like you almost need to control the tempo. So like in both games, you were able to get enough stealth guys on the board and enough creatures that lived through my removal
Mm-hmm.
where you were able to control the board and there wasn't enough larger threats. Like for example, this Sentry I needed to play because I needed to be able to destroy creatures to like be able to use my abilities, but it's not the stats aren't ideal. So it's like it's not a big threat for you where you're like I could take the 5 if I play it in an open
Yeah,
lane. And
yeah.
it's not going to kill a lot of your creatures too, because a lot of them have very large toughness like stats. So yeah, I think that especially in a sealed format, you need to look at, in my opinion, your removal that you can utilize because removal is going to always be able to deal with your crazy things. I guess except for Zimus because Zimus like it absorbs your removal. Like you love it when someone kills your Zimus and it comes back. Um, but yeah, and then I love to look for evasiveness, whether it's like breakthrough or stealth. And then cards that let me kind of cheat out more because in sealed, no one's creating their ideal combo. So it's
Yes.
like I could be like, oh man, I'd love to play a Blight Witch with the Dissian Siphon, and then throw this in with a Mage deck that has a chaining card and like a Uranti Elementalist, so I could play a bunch of free spells. But like, obviously, I can't do that in sealed, so I'm at like a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of what I want to be doing with my strategy. So as a result, like you got to kind of look for like knowing that your opponent's going to be in a similar situation. You want to look for what are the threats that they can't deal with, what are ways that I could be resilient through those threats, in my opinion, and then what can I do to push over the top? Whether it's, hey, I'm going to gain life and then deal damage, so I'm going to still be above, or I'm going to find stuff like stealth. Like in both of these games, I think stealth was the answer that I just couldn't deal with it. But yeah, I don't know. It
Uh,
was a lot of fun, and I appreciate the games.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely. And I definitely look forward to our next demo kit
Oh, I
draft.
know. I'll have to save some for that, but I also definitely we need to get some constructed games in soon because I want to see
Yes.
how our top decks kind of pair against each other.
What? Just just for the audience here, just watch him just destroy some of my decks.
Well, you'll probably destroy a bunch of mine too.
Sure. Yeah. It'll probably be more back and forth, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun when you get to start seeing these combos just go off, and you play your entire hand
Oh
multiple
yeah.
times. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like a uh. I don't want to say it because this is yeah, this is awesome.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, but the last thing I'll say is there was like this past week I was playing a double Kindred, double Shambler deck with a lot of life gain at my local tournaments. And it's a little light on removal, but it ends up like you can push so much damage so quickly because all your creatures, like all the Kindred guys, and there's like Glowhive Siren, they all grow so quick. And basically, like I would throw out by the end of cycle two, like I would be dealing like probably
I'm
50
sorry.
to
What
100.
did you say? A double what?
Oh, so there was two Kindred cards. So it was a Kindred. Actually, here, let me bring it up, and I'll send you a copy of the list as well. Um,
You have a double kindred double shambling?
yeah, but I also actually silvered it by mistake, which was kind of funny
Uh,
because I forgot that one of the decks was part of a sealed event, so I can't play it in any of the tournaments anymore for bronze. But let me share it to you, and I'll also throw it on my excuse me, my screen for the stream.
okay. All right. Cool. I just cut off the recording for
Yeah,
the
no worries.
other. So yep.
All right, so basically this deck, it's got a ton of life gain and a lot of things that trigger off of life gain. Um, but the reason I was bringing up this deck is because there's a Kindred Bear and a Kindred Slayer, which both, whenever I gain life, they get plus X depending on what level you're at. Then you've got
Mm-hmm.
like the Glowhive, which gains life. You've got the Stouthide Stegodon. You've got like
Are you
Vampirics.
showing it?
Yeah, on my screen I am. Yeah,
Oh, on your
on my stream. Yeah, but I sent you a
oh
link to it as well.
oh,
Um,
got it. I got it.
but the thing about this deck, so it was a lot of fun to play. It's lacking in removal, which it's something I probably wouldn't play in like a high level event, just because there's not a lot of ways to deal with stuff, and it could be a little bit
Mm-hmm.
fragile to like a Dreadbolt if you put a lot into your Kindred Bear or Slayer. But this deck, I was at a point where like my bears and my slayers would be like 30, 40, 50, 60 attack like pretty quickly, and I'm sitting there with dice trying to like keep track of it, and I was like it was very hard to play in person because of how much life gain I was getting, and like the triggers off the shamblers, which would then keep growing my bear and my slayer, and it was just because of the life totals of my creatures triggering so much and getting so big, like it was just very hard to play in person. But that was a situation where, as you were talking about, it's like, all right, I'll play my like vampiric spirit if I have when I have my shambler on the field, I can play my Vampiric Spirit to deal damage, play into a lane that already has a creature in it to then have it die to my Shambler, get 2 life gain triggers to my Kindred stuff, then play a free Xeris Will, a free Primal Surge, and then like the following thing, do a Feral Instinct to break through and potentially just win the game on an early cycle. Um, it's a very like aggressive and gains a lot of life and also pushes a lot of damage. And that was one of those kind of situations where it was like so many
Ew.
triggers. It's a good deck.
You have 6 beasts in there
Oh, I know with the Soul Reap,
with
yeah.
Soul Reap.
But
Ugh.
that being said, it's just like it doesn't have enough hard removal.
Yeah.
So I played against like an Apocamancer where I just had to like kind of let it live so I could keep gaining life and pushing damage because my Slayer and my Bear were so big, but the Apocamancer was kind of picking off a lot of my other stuff, but I
Mhm.
couldn't spot removal it because of the situation of just kind of what's in this deck. But
Primal Surge and Xeros will
yeah,
both. Wow.
so this one I'm gonna potentially pair the green side with another
Mhm.
purple deck just for to play it one more time because the purple
Mhm.
side is silver, the green one has 2 wins against it. Um, but like this is one of those decks where it's like I think it's fun, I think it's a strong deck, but I think it's a little fragile. And this is one of those decks though that I would probably play like in a more casual setting, but I
Mhm.
don't know if I would bring it to like an ultimate championship kind of thing. But the thing is, it also
Yeah.
helps that I have a lot of decks, so I could make combos like this.
I don't. I agree with you because when I look at both the Kindred and the Slayer, their stats are so small in the beginning.
I know. So it's like cycle 1, you basically upgrade the cards you need to upgrade, and then
Mhm.
cycle 2, if your Bear or Slayer is still alive, you're in great shape. If they're not, you play one of them, and then just with all the life gain, with the Glow Hive, everything gets huge quick.
Yeah, especially. Oh my gosh, level 3 bear starts at 17, 19.
Yep. And then with the Cersei and an army commander, if you get to cycle 4, you can just army commander whatever you need. And then,
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah. So it's like
Woo!
I've had a game where I like got my like it was either the Bear or the Slayer to like 40 something in
Oh
cycle 2 when I was off Forge. I just death touch and then for the win or something. And like you could also Feral Instinct for the win.
yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say he can Feral Instinct for the win as well.
yeah. So
Jeez.
but this is one of like as you were talking about with like a lot of triggers, doing a lot of crazy stuff. This is the kind of deck where it's like, all right, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, and it's just like you keep
Mhm.
playing like you do 4 to 5 actions per turn, whether it's off of activated abilities or free cards off
Mhm.
of your life gain. So yeah, when you get to the more constructed, especially with like some of the higher level play,
Yeah.
you'll get some crazy decks, and then it's like all about, hey, what am I going to try to bait out of my opponent to make them go to remove my one thing so then I could play my Kindred Bear and then have it live or whatever. Um, but yeah, no, I appreciate the game and I appreciate the discussion and I had a lot of fun tonight. Even though you put me in my place and beat me both times. So,
Oh man, don't hype it up too much.
nah,
Because I feel like we'll see the next drafts. We'll see the next constructed and see how everything works out then too.
for sure. All right, well,
Uh,
thanks again. And yeah, I got to get to bed
you
because I got work super early in the morning, but we'll have to play again soon and get some constructed in.
sounds good.
All right, well, have a great
All
night.
right, you too.
All right, see
Bye.
you later. All right. Well, once again, thank you everyone who's either tuned in or will watch this on replay on Twitch. We had a lot of fun tonight. Definitely, like I lost both of my games, but I had a great time doing it. Sometimes when you play aggressive, it can kind of bite you a little bit. And definitely played a little more aggressive than maybe I should have in a few situations. But again, Grandfather is a great player. That's one of those things where it's like you gotta almost like think like he'll know what I'm trying to do as much as I kind of can predict maybe what he's trying to do. So yeah, it's a great time, and hopefully we'll do something like this again in the future. And yeah, for everyone watching, I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you guys soon.